Would you say this is the toughest hike in Sedona?
A little bit of climbing, you're going to get down on your hands and knees and climb a little bit. And going down, we're going to have to sit down.
We got probably 3/4 of the way up, and we lost the trail, and we figured we better get down before dark.
It was more difficult to pick a route because we had like braided trails.
This is the toughest hike I've ever done.
Behind the overcrowded and noisy, traffic-laden madness to be found in the town of Sedona, Arizona, a place that I refer to as Red Rock Disneyland, is a tower of tranquility for those who wish to find it and climb it. Thunder Mountain. There is no trail to the top. There's a Thunder Mountain Trail, but this is a deceptive misnomer. It won't get you anywhere near the actual Thunder Mountain. I'm going to show you what to look for and how to find the route to the top of what might be Sedona's toughest and possibly most tricky hike.
Rock Hopper here, and today we're going to go up Thunder Mountain here in Sedona. However, there's no official trail, so we're going to have to find a route. Look for this sign.
As you're driving Dry Creek Road leaving town, look for this sign and turn right after it, as if you're going to the Devil's Bridge parking lot.
Go about 200 yards up this road, go past this sign right here, and then look for the trail to the right. Just a few hundred feet past that sign right down there that I just showed you, look for the route right here. It'll be on your right hand side as you're going uphill. Wasn't able to find a parking space in the lot, so parked on down there. And I'm going to have to walk about a mile maybe to get to the parking trailhead. People used to be able to park alongside the road, but as you can see, they've outlawed all of that now. I'm at the top of the hill now, about 3/4 of a mile from where I parked. And as you can see, alongside the road, they put up barriers now. This is pretty new, so you definitely cannot park there. Farther up the hill, they've got rocks alongside the road for miles. All of this to prevent people from parking alongside the road anymore. If you're coming up the hill the way that I did, say you're coming from Enchantment Resort perhaps, look for this sign right here and then turn left to get to the trailhead and the parking lot. Ideally, this is where you'd turn, and the parking lot's down there. Look for this sign, but as evidenced today, you may not find a parking space in that lot. If, however, you are lucky enough to find a parking spot in the lot, go to the stop sign right here, and I'm going to measure how far it is down to the beginning of the route from where the parking lot road meets the main little road here. All right, let's go from the stop sign. How many paces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 181, 182, 183. At 183 paces or so, look to your left, because you've been going downhill, and there's the route right across the asphalt here, and you want to take that. You may not see it, but if you look to your right as you're coming down the hill, you'll see this sign on the right hand side that says Lizard Head Trail, and that's over there where I just pointed. This is where your route for Thunder Mountain starts. So we'll measure this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At 110 paces in, you'll see this cairn and continue on this little trail here. But soon we're going to be off this trail. So let's measure how far. 1, 2, 3. At roughly 130 paces, of course your mileage may vary according to your stride, and then if you go a few more paces, maybe 5, you look to your left and you'll see what looks to be maybe a route. Don't take that. Stick to the route with the cairns, the little trail, and keep on going from this next cairn on down. And for now, we're going to go that way. You'll come to the top of a small rise, look to your left, and that's the route you want to be on now. Right here begins the route that goes up to Thunder Mountain. And there's nothing really distinctive. That's not Thunder Mountain. Thunder Mountain's way over there. And there's nothing distinctive to give it away. The only thing you can do is tell by the rise, you're at the top of this little rise, and if you start going downhill through here, then you've gone too far. So you got to come back and go up that little route right there. There's really nothing to mark it. And over here, it kind of comes up a little bit and tops out. It's about 178 paces from the start of the route going up to Thunder Mountain to the tree trunk. You want to look to your left, look uphill, and look for that tree trunk. This tree is very important as an indicator of where to find the route that goes up to the top of Thunder Mountain. Let me give you a close-up shot of that so you can be sure you get it right. Here's the tree trunk, and if you look, there's a bit of discoloration, a little whitish, yellowish looking there, and that's what it looks like, and that's your marker to get up to Thunder Mountain. So right here, where this tree trunk is where the start of the route to the top of Thunder Mountain really begins. Now begins your ascent, and if you look in the distance, way back there, that's the Lizard Head Rock Formation. Have a look up there, that's where we're going.
You'll start to leave the crowds behind and natural beauty abounds. The higher you hike, the more impressive the views become. You might start to feel more like you're entering a Red Rock Majesty instead of a Red Rock Disneyland.
This is your route. Yeah, sometimes it gets a little bit steep, but remember, this is the easy part. Hello. Does the crow know the way? He's the trail master. He doesn't need to know the way, he's got wings. Look, it's a bluebird.
On this particular morning, a frosty and chilly one, mist rose as the sun thawed the land, as if the mountains were breathing, exhaling what made me think of a soft dragon's breath that rose gently into the air. Fallen trunks of trees were white, coated with rust. It was onward and always upward along the route.
A little chilly this morning. Frost. I think we'll have an ice chip. You'll come up what I just showed you, and the Lizard Head Formation right here will come into view. Getting close to the base of Lizard Head, and keep an eye out for little telltale signs like teeny cairns, just like that one, which could help guide you along the route. Getting toward the base of Lizard Head, you'll find yourself walking along the base of this wall along the route. When you see this tree growing out of the rocks alongside the route, you'll know you're getting close to the base of Lizard Head. And if you look out there, you can see we've gained some elevation. Keep in mind that the Lizard Head Trail won't get you to the top of Lizard Head any more than the Thunder Mountain Trail will get you to the top of Thunder Mountain. Why they named them like that, I don't know. Getting very close to the top of Lizard Head now, and if you look to your right, that's where the trail, or the route, continues. Slide past this tree, and you will be atop Lizard Head. Hey, I just wanted to let you guys know that Peaceful Fruits now has the big bulk pack, more bang for your buck. It's called Pieces and Parts, and it has no added sugar. It's all fruit, as always, and really tasty, so you can get a whole lot more fruit snacks, plenty to share with your friends. And it comes in big strips like this. So don't forget to pick up a big bag of Peaceful Fruits. And lots of different flavors in each bag. There's some guy standing atop Lizard Head or near Lizard Head. You might even find a lizard on Lizard Head. I'm right up top of Lizard Head or near it. Actually, the formation behind me is actually called Lizard Head. But this is part of the route. You're going just to the edge of the Lizard Head and on up eventually to Thunder Mountain. About 25 minutes for me to get to the top of Lizard Head from the bottom. You can see a tremendous view behind me, Sedona, down below. So I'll be heading up this way, and over there behind me is Thunder Mountain. From the top of Lizard Head, you get a pretty good view of Chimney Rock right there. After Lizard Head, well, that's where it starts to get a little more tricky and difficult, but keep going. The route's up there. This is not an easy trail, so if you're a beginner and you want to try this, don't. This is not a trail for beginners. It's difficult. I'm staying with my friends in that house right there. It's easy to lose the route here. As you're going along, if you get into a little bit of a bind where you look like you've got to do some rock climbing or something like that, backtrack. That's your sign. You got to backtrack a bit and then find the route. It shouldn't be that difficult. But you can see, sometimes you got to go through the bushes and whatnot. All right, let's come on through here. This is like a little labyrinth, kind of cool. A little slot canyon of sorts, almost, not quite. Sometimes you've really got to keep an eye out for your clues or where to turn. Like this tiny little cairn here, telling you to go up here maybe. And other clues such as scratch marks on the rocks with little arrows sometimes. It does get pretty steep at times. I'm not quite at full lung capacity because I've been suffering from allergies from juniper pollen. This right here, this is the juniper tree, and at a certain time of year it just emits all this pollen, and a lot of people have problems with it here in the Sedona region. And I've just had burning itchy eyes and sneezes, and you know, sometimes you get itchy roof of the mouth, and sometimes I feel like I have the flu or a cold or something. It just totally wipes me out. Looks like I might be getting toward the home stretch now. You can see down below, and if you look behind me, that's where I'm going, right up there. We're almost to the top, and before I show you the beautiful view from up there, let me tell you that today I am decked out entirely in Western Rise travel and outdoor clothing. These are the Evolution pants, and they're really comfortable. They're compactable, they're lightweight, they're made of nylon with some elastine so they stretch just a little bit. Super comfy, nice fit. The pants are stain and water repellent, and they seem to be, so far anyway, good for hiking to places like this. And this is the Western Rise t-shirt. It's a cotton poly blend with some elastine. This color is called Pacific. And all Western Rise clothing is warranted against manufacturer defects. So if you're on the go or on the mountain, Consider Western Rise, travel and outdoor clothing. Welcome to the top of Thunder Mountain. You can see the red rocks behind me, and if you look out this way, you can see Sedona down below. It took me 1 hour and 47 minutes to reach the top of Thunder Mountain here, and this is looking out in a different direction. Show the mountain, the very top of that mountain, treacherous mountain. Truly an accomplishment, getting to the top of that. Here's some people who made it to the top, and let's get their take on all this. What did you guys think of coming up Thunder Mountain?
I think the views were awesome. There's a little bit of climbing. You're going to get down on your hands and knees and climb a little bit. And going down, we're going to have to sit down. But other than that, there's no like on the edge cliffs that you're going by. You feel like you're not really unsafe. You're pretty safe coming all the way up.
It's just a matter of finding the arrows and the footprints from the other people.
This was our second attempt. Tried it last year. We got a late start and we got probably 3/4 of the way up and we lost the trail and we figured we better get down before dark. So we tried it again today and we're excited to have done it. We hike all the time and I have to say this is the toughest hike I've ever done. But it was great. Definitely worth it. The views are awesome.
Yeah, and it can be difficult to find the route sometimes, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it
You
is.
lose the trail a lot.
Yeah, you lose the trail here and there. It
But
is getting,
people have put arrows, so it's helpful.
yeah, there is more arrows. And today there's people to follow. You know, I mean, there's been more people up here. That's definitely a help. But
Yeah.
It's an awesome place to come up to. Not very many people.
I think it was more difficult to pick a route because we had like braided trails.
Oh yeah,
At
yeah.
some
You could
points
go.
somewhere.
Mike was going off where we were going just because there was more solid rock. And,
I was hallucinating a little bit.
All right, so overall, it's challenging hike.
definitely
Yeah.
challenging.
Definitely, I would say you should be fit to do it. I'm short, so there was a lot of upper body pulling myself up. And I feel like last year I wasn't as fit as I am this year, and it probably would have been a lot more of a struggle. So,
But you started later last year, right?
yeah.
Yeah, later in the day.
Okay, so you want to allow plenty of time to do this
It
hike.
took, what did we say? It took us 2.5 hours to get here.
From the Lizard Head
Lizard
trailhead.
Head trailhead.
From Lizard Head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the down below.
From
It
the
was
actual
trailhead.
Lizard Head rock? Or
No,
No,
from the trailhead
From the
down
trailhead
by
down at the bottom, off of Devil's.
Devil's Bridge.
Devil's Bridge.
Bridge Trail.
Road.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it took us 2.5 hours from there. It was only 45 minutes to get to Lizard Head, and then it took us quite a while to get here just because it's slow, you know,
Yeah.
but it's worth it. Yeah, you just take your time. You know, and follow some footprints. I was following a set of Van tennis shoe prints. It was like, yep, there's a Van. He'd been up here.
Yeah, the only problem is there are a lot of false trails and people start following the wrong footprints.
They do.
Yeah.
But we talked to this guy. He'd been here. So, we did that the last time we came up too. I followed some guy's footprints that we had talked to. That comes up here once a month. And so I knew he knew the way. We followed his footprints. You know, looked at the traction on his shoes. Yep, we could follow those. He was actually wearing flip-flops.
Flip-flops.
Pretty much, yeah. Sandals was just a nicer, solid rubber sole, but not much. Pretty much close to barefoot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you guys did very well.
Well, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Thanks.
And welcome to the top.
How
Well,
many times have you ascended the mountain?
this is my first time to the top.
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent.
Well, congratulations to you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an awesome feat, I think.
Thank you.
Are
Yeah,
there
it's
trails
cool.
around here that you've done?
Oh yeah, I've done tons of trails around here.
Okay.
Yeah, we have too, and this is definitely on our bucket list. Last year, my list was to do all the toughest ones. This is Sedona, and this was on it.
Yeah.
Didn't make it last year, but we did the other ones.
Would you say this is the toughest hike in Sedona?
I would say it is. We've done Wilson, we've done Bear, we've done all the difficult ones. Higher elevation gain,
Did Sterling
but
pass?
this one's steeper. This one's a lot more rock climbery.
Yeah.
So I would say it's definitely tough.
Sterling's not as Sterling's steep, but it's not as hard. I mean, you're
Yeah.
walking all the way. You're not crawling.
Yeah, I think the navigation is the hardest part about this trail. Is knowing where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to find the trail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then weaving through the rocks and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
So here's my story of Thunder Mountain. I came up here a while back, and I came up here with a woman who was a girlfriend of mine at the time, and she thought she was a pretty good hiker, and you know, she's probably not too bad of a hiker, really. She probably wasn't as good of a hiker as she thought. We got to Lizard Head to the top there, and she said, I can't go any farther. We've got to turn around. So I said, yeah, okay, you know, we'll go back down. So that cut that trip short to Thunder Mountain. Maybe she wasn't up to this level of hiking. Anyway, we did turn back. So I got my buddy and we went on a hike not too long ago, and he got farther, but he was not really up for this level of hiking, I guess, either. He hadn't been hiking for a while. He's not a bad hiker, but I think this was a little too much for him. And he's like, dude, we gotta turn back, and it's getting a little bit late, and he was worried about the time. So we did turn back. So today I came up here by myself because, you know, I knew that I would make it. And technically it's like the fourth time, because one time I came straight up that side of that mountain, just down there, and I got maybe a quarter mile from the top, but it really was late in the day, and I thought, this is not a place where you want to get stuck at night. It's definitely not. And I turned back and made it back down. I found the route. The main route that we came up today, I found that and made it back down. Now, you definitely don't want to get stuck up here in the evening, because what I have heard, and I don't know if this is true, people have gotten up here and then they call 911 because it's getting dark and they can't find their way out. And 911 says, well, we'll send somebody out, and the helicopter comes, but the helicopter doesn't pick them up. The helicopter drops off blankets or sleeping bags or whatever and says, yeah, good, enjoy, stay up there, keep warm, and walk out tomorrow. So again, I can't verify that, but I have heard these stories. So I accompanied these people back down the mountain because I do have a philosophy that nobody dies on my watch, and I do feel obligated to look after people that come up hiking with me and make sure they're okay and that they can find their way back down or up or wherever we're going. The most challenging aspect of this is you have to have decent route finding skills. There's a little bit of bushwhacking, not much. A little bit of rock climbing, not too bad. Mainly just finding your way along the route. So how would I rate this hike on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the most difficult? If you're trying to break through vegetation that's so thick that it has you and your pack suspended like a spider in a web, and you push and shove with all your might trying to get your feet back on the ground, and it's a real struggle to do so, and that's a 10. Or you're hiking up a 45-degree, maybe 50-degree angled slope, and your weight alone might create a landslide that could take you down and could potentially bury you in a place where no humans almost have ever been before, and that's a 10, then I rate this hike as a 4. I wondered what I was feeling, like a little itchy, hurting kind of thing, and I didn't even realize I have been walking for the past who knows how many miles with a cactus spine in my leg. People might tell you, or you might read things that say you shouldn't hike by yourself. Well, sometimes you have to. If you have a goal in mind and you set your mind to achieving that goal, then sometimes it is best to hike by yourself. I hike by myself all the time pretty much, and throughout life really. And you do have to be careful out here. It is the wilderness. But having other people along could be somewhat of a liability. You're only as strong as the weakest link out in the wilderness, and if you're really experienced, you have to look after those who are less experienced than you. Two people who decided they wanted to join me on the hike to the top of Thunder Mountain, well, they got only so far until they said, we've got to turn around and go back. You've got to find somebody who's as experienced as you are, I guess, and in my case, and I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet here or anything like that, but I have done 2 world's first adventures in hiking, so stands to reason that most people are going to be less experienced than I am in the realm of hiking and adventuring and things like that. It's not that I don't like to hike with people, it's just that it can be hard to find people to hike with who are willing to do these types of hikes. Having a lot of knowledge and experience in whatever endeavor you're achieving can be very helpful, especially if something goes wrong. And out in the wild, things can go wrong, even to the most experienced of adventurers and hikers. Out in the wilderness, anything can happen at any time. It is wild nature after all.
It was a good thing I hiked up the mountain the day I did, because the next day it snowed all day and temperatures dropped.
I hope you enjoyed hiking to the top of Thunder Mountain with me. Don't forget to give me a like in the video, share, and subscribe. Until next time, this is Rockhopper. I'll see ya. Hello. Hey.